Oh God, stay. How's it going, guys? Moon Mike here with you on this Monday afternoon. I know it's been a little while since I made one of these, and I figured it was probably about time for me to make one. Um, and it's been, well, like I said, it's been a little while. There's been a decent amount of stuff that's happened between my last video and now. Uh, I've been helping Kick-Ass Kayla move into her new place. I've been training for my new position at work. Actually, going to be going in a few hours to continue that training, which I'm actually excited for. Um, I'm definitely looking forward to moving up, both at work and in the world. Moving on up. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Um, but one other thing that am readjusting, because I'm not obviously doing this in my usual spot. I don't know. I just felt like not really moving, so I decided to do it in my bedroom. Um, One other thing that happened, unfortunately, I believe since the last time I made a video was Chester Bennington, the lead singer of Linkin Park, committed suicide. And, that was, not gonna lie, that was a kind of tough one to hear about. And my heart goes out to his family and friends. Because I know that that's not something you ever want to go through, because as that person's friend, it makes you feel so shitty. Like it makes you feel incredibly guilty in a way. That you weren't able to prevent it. And that is it's a shitty feeling, and my heart goes out to them. I know that just for me personally, it was kind of rough to hear, because when I was younger, when Linkin Park was kind of at their most popular, their music helped me through a lot of really dark emotional times in my life, and honestly has throughout the years. Not as often, once they stopped making stuff that was like all over the place. But it still helped me a lot. And in a way, seeing someone that helped me personally, and I know a lot of other people through dark times in their life, choose to end theirs that way, is it's disheartening. Because in a way, it almost makes it feel like it's inevitable. Like when you have depression, or when you're a recovering addict, or recovering addict with depression, it almost makes it feel like it's like there's no point in struggling. You're going to end up taking your own life, which I know isn't the case. Cannot get comfortable. But it also was, there's that little voice in the back of your head that, will always be there, basically saying stuff like that. And I don't know, it sucked, because, like I said, his music helped me so much when I was younger. And when I heard about it, I went back and I listened to a lot of songs that had gotten me through tough times, and I listened to a lot of his newer stuff. And I think what kind of was a kick in the gut was the latest CD that he had released was sounding almost, dare I say, happy. And it reminded me that sometimes you don't know. Sometimes you have no way of knowing that someone is going to take their own life. And if you are or have been friends or family of someone who has, it's not your fault. Like, I don't know, it's hard to put into words, but I don't know, it's like I said, just it's disheartening. And I just hope that it helps open some people's eyes to how serious this disease can be. I know there were a lot of people that were saying, "Oh, good," or calling him a coward and everything. And 10 years ago, I would have been mad at that. Now it's disappointing. It's disappointing that people can see something like this and just kind of go off like that rather than trying to empathize or understand why. Like trying to figure out what made this person feel that way, or trying to understand that you can feel like the only thing that will make anything better is if you take your own life. I feel like a lot of people can't understand that, and even fewer people make any sort of an effort to. And honestly, it's bad enough that I wouldn't even wish it on them. Like, I don't even want to say, like, I wish that the people that said that could experience depression, because it's horrible. It truly sucks. I mean, it's done a lot of damage throughout, like, my life personally, and it's not something that I would wish on anyone. Like I said, just in general, kind of disheartening to see that sort of reaction to the passing of someone that I looked up to. But it happened. The only thing that really can be done is to honor their memory. I know that I personally have made it a point to put myself out there as a person that, if someone is feeling that way, or just is struggling with depression, I put myself out there as someone that anyone, including anyone that's watching this, can reach out to. And I'll do whatever I can, even if it's just to listen, because I know sometimes that's the most important thing. And like I said, if you are feeling like that, it's not your fault. And it doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. Well, I mean, it isn't something to be ashamed of. There are people out there that do understand. There are people out there that have been where you have been, and that are willing and able to help you get through it. I know it doesn't feel that way, but that's how it is. And it just sucks that someone that I looked up to didn't. Well, I can't really say didn't have anyone there for him, but for whatever reason felt that that was ultimately the best decision. So yeah, lots of fun times in the period since I made my last video. Yes, I'm readjusting again! Don't judge me. Now this is just awkward. I don't feel like continuing to move around a bunch. So... Okay. Hopefully that will be the last position change for the duration of this video. Oh god, what else has been happening? Ow, my knee. Jeez. Been playing video games. I've been getting into Pokemon. Or back into, I guess I should say. I picked up Pokemon Moon, and I've been playing a decent amount of it, and then I found out that Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow were all available on the Nintendo eStore, and you know, I immediately had to go get those and relive my childhood. And it's kind of cool, like, seeing how much they stand up, but also how much different they were. Like, you couldn't run. You had to wait to get a bicycle voucher before you could move at anything more than, like, a snail's pace. The in-game money is a lot harder to come by. The Pokemon, like, catch rate, again, this is probably going to be just nerd speak to a lot of people. But also, yes, I'm readjusting. Again, don't judge me. Like, at the beginning when you're walking through, don't remember which one it is, but it's like the first forest that you walk through. I didn't realize that you could get a Pikachu there. Because I spent a lot of time in that forest, because my thing is now I want to, like, try and get all the Pokemon. So I've been spending a lot of time, like, in all the areas, just, like, going through and catching everything I can, especially since there's no, like, day-night cycle in the earlier games. But I forgot that the Pikachu has a 5% encounter rate. Jesus. And of course, I'm at a point now where I can't, in the game where I can't, like, just go back. Really? Really? Heisenberg? This is what we're doing now? This is how we behave? Is this how I raised you? These are not the values I taught you. You got more to say? Feeling shy now? You good? I think he's good. But as far as I know, in the newer ones, I don't think there's anything that has as low as, like, a 5% encounter rate. I could be wrong. But jeez. Like that. Yes, I looked at a guide because I got to one of the gyms. I was like, why do I only have one type of Pokemon that's actually useful here? And just, yeah. Then I was like, start kicking myself. Because, oh, I feel like stuff levels up slower too. But it's just kind of, it's funny remembering how much more, I guess, we put up with, or with like older games. Like in a modern game, if you can't run, it's kind of like, why can't I run? What's happening? This is insane. And back then, it was just like, we didn't even think like, oh, you can't run. It was like you went into a game not even expecting to be able to run. And there were like, because the in-game money was so much harder to come by, there were, and I've experienced this a lot of times where you would have like a 3-minute walk back, one, like just to heal your Pokemon, then go back out for like a couple more battles, and then have to make that same like 6-minute total round trip walk. And it's, I think if it wasn't something that I'd done when I was younger, I probably would have gotten very impatient with it by this point. But it's also kind of cool seeing the Berg. It's also kind of cool seeing how much muscle memory plays into it. Like there are places where I'll be walking through and I remember like, okay, then you go like, you press forward for this long, then right, then back to forward, so that you move around a rock or something before it even appears on the screen. And on the one hand, it's pretty cool. On the other hand, it's like, Jesus, how much time did I play in this game? Like that I remember this. Which, in a weird way, at least to me, is also kind of cool. That like that you can put that much into a video game where years, and I don't even remember how many years, but years later, you still remember it. I guess it's kind of like riding a bike. I don't know. I also haven't ridden a bike in a few years. So, Berg, what are you doing? I get the feeling you're like right on the edge of frame. Do you want to get in the video? Heisenberg. Heisenberg. And now he's ignoring me. Now I'm pretty sure you can at least see his whiskers. What? Sir, what are you doing? Are you broken now? Are you having a malfunction? You weird cat. Why do I get the weird ones? Why? All of my cats are insane. Now that kind of makes me wonder if they were crazy when I got them, or did I make them crazy? But yeah, I've been going back and playing Pokemon, and I don't know, it's I know a lot of retro games are, it seems like, wow, this will be so cool. Like I got to go back and play like Twisted Metal Black, which I remember as being a really cool game, and yeah, lots of fun and everything. I went back to it, I was like, wow, this looks bad. I don't like how it plays. The button layout made no sense whatsoever, and it was just like, it was cool for a couple minutes as like a nostalgia factor, but with the old Pokemon, I feel like it actually holds up, which is probably the coolest part of it. Um, so yeah, if you have a DS or 3DS or anything, I definitely recommend checking out the older games on the App Store. It's like I said, it's not just uh, going back for the nostalgia factor. It's that they're still fun games, which it's always a nice surprise. But that being said, it's coming up on the time when I need to start getting ready for work. So with that, I will say until next time. Oh, before I do that, I'm going to try and get back into the groove of making these a little bit more often. Possibly do one tonight. Not sure yet. But yeah, hopefully you'll be seeing more of me. So until next time, Moon Moon Mike out.